everybody. Welcome to the weekend. Good Morning Football Weekend presented by Bass Pro Shops. And we've added another to our panel. We're growing. The family's growing, everybody. We got Mike Garafolo over here, Sean O'Hara. I'm Colleen Wolfe. We got D'Angelo Hall. And now, joining us, our special guest from the NFC North, our expert, Stacey Dale.
I never thought you guys would ask. I mean, it's week 10.
I know. Listen.
I'm happy to be here. I absolutely love the show on Saturday mornings. I wake up to it when I'm not traveling.
Right.
Yeah.
But Good Morning Football.
The true triple threat over there, shoot, pass, dribble.
Well, I thought there'd be a hoop in here so I could dunk on.
I've been asking.
I would love it. I would pay you the money to dunk on Craig, please.
Yes,
Craig is our boss.
Yep.
Yes, please do that. That'd be great.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's get going here with the leader of the pack here in the NFC North, Green Bay, 7-2, hosting, as we just talked about, the 5-3 Panthers tomorrow. Rodgers and a squad ready to move on from that ugly, ugly loss to the Chargers. And Matt LaFleur, he knows.
You've got to show up, and you got to bring your best every day in this league. Otherwise, you'll get embarrassed, especially when you're going against quality opponents. So I think, again, all you can go back to is how you prepare. You know, now you got to go out and play.
Stace, you obviously know this team very well. So how will their offense bounce back after just scoring 11 points?
Well, they have to bounce back, I think they would argue, by getting Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones the football. I mean, they were very disappointed. Aaron Rodgers said this week, I would wager maybe 7-8 times we had no juice to come out of that game, and so they played behind, so they had to throw the football. I mean, they had 11 carries, you guys, against the Chargers for 45 yards, and only 10 combined carries for those two young men who have been the difference in weeks 5 to 8. I mean, the numbers have been astronomical. We love Devontae Adams, and he needs to get the football, but Aaron Rodgers said this week, we know what got us here, and it's been, the pass game and the run game with those two running backs, and certainly I believe they're going to force feed it on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you see the defense, too, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are talking about Aaron Rodgers and the offense. They didn't show up, but this defense has been having issues, too. If you go back to week 4, they're 31st in the league in yards per play allowed, and so they're just not able to get off the field. But on the other side of things, you know that the Carolina pass rush is going to be coming after Aaron Rodgers, so yeah, you have to run the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think about how Green Bay lost versus the Chargers, right? And the formula that the Chargers defense used. And I'm thinking this is a copycat league. We always said as players, we knew that going into the week that, hey, whatever we can't stop or whatever problem we have is going to show up the next week. And so for me, Carolina knows the formula. It's letting their guys up front rush. Obviously, like Stacey said, they're going to have to stop the run by Green Bay. But when you got linebackers like Bruce Irwin, Shaq Thomas, Luke Kuechly, Brian Burns, the D-line they have, like I said, is going to get pressure. And those linebackers, they have an elite defense that it's going to be tough for Green Bay. I don't see how they do it because, to me, Green Bay is one of those pretender teams. I know their record says they're really good. You didn't say the P word. I'm saying it because I just need to see consistency. When they were winning early, it wasn't because of Aaron Rodgers, right? And then when they won a couple games, Aaron Rodgers played his butt off. And then the next week, I go into the game like, oh, Aaron's about to give it to the Chargers. And what happens? They lay an egg. And so I've been on teams that have laid eggs. It could just be I'm not around that team every day. So it could just be the inconsistency of that team, or they could have just been tired like Aaron alluded to. I don't know, but I'm interested to see.
It was disappointing because they didn't have an answer for the Chargers. Yeah. They couldn't slow down the pass rush, and Aaron Rodgers looked frustrated. So to your point, Stacey, they've got to have to run the football to help those guys out up front. But Gerald McCoy might be the key to all that because Aaron Rodgers, he can avoid the edge rush, but it's stepping up in the pocket what he does best. So if Gerald McCoy can push that pocket, give him nowhere to go, constrict him a little bit, that could be the key.
Yeah, Dontario Poe's another tackle that, like you said, push that pocket right up the middle.
But one of the things they also did this offseason, and Ron Rivera talked about it, is they wanted to make their defense a lot faster. Okay, and it started with drafting Brian Burns, and he feels like they've got one of the fastest defenses that he's ever had here, and they're leading the league in sacks right now with 34. So they feel really good about that part of things and feel like they can force the issue. I mean, that's what you have to do defensively in the league. And you've got to get guys that can cover ground, and you got to be able to attack from multiple areas.
It's true. And I'm looking at Kyle Allen in this game because he grew up as a Packers fan. He's from Milwaukee. It probably would have been a lot better for him to go as a fan, and now he's got to go instead and be chased around by the Green Bay pass rush in this game. Kyle Allen, he's been better, but he has 4 interceptions in the last 2 games. He cleaned up the fumbling issues, but now that is a problem. So I'm wondering if they're going to rattle him at all into any mistakes.
And this nostalgia of playing at Lambeau. I mean, he said this week he's never been to Lambeau, even as a young kid growing up. And I don't care what you guys say about temperatures. Green Bay, I know, has practiced outside every day this week. And we're going to be in the low numbers, sub-degree temperatures on Sunday. And Ron Rivera, in his presser this week, he said, I know they're practicing inside. Ron. They've been outside every day this week.
Didn't you see Aaron Rodgers throwing the snowball?
That's right.
Which the interesting key will be, what does Christian McCaffrey do with this cold weather? And to me, the matchup to watch in all this is Blake Martinez, the middle linebacker for the Green Bay Packers. He leads the team in tackles. Him trying to shadow Christian McCaffrey, it's easy to do in between the tackles. It's easy to do in the run game. And all of a sudden, you start getting him in the passing game, Blake Martinez better have his track shoes on.
Yeah, I think the Packers really do miss Mike Daniels, too. I mean, you look at all of the teams that have run all over the Packers. The Eagles did it. Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler did it. Josh Jacobs. So this could be a massive game for Christian McCaffrey. 2 really fun, dynamic backs in this game. McCaffrey and Aaron Jones. They rank 1 and 2 in total touchdowns this season. 13 for CMC. And Jones already a career-high 11. So this will be a fun matchup to watch. And that feels like the right spot.